Hello there. This is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Winning the dating game despite a disability. Right? And the brother who asked me for this podcast, shout yourself out. Because when you originally asked for it, I wrote it down on a piece of paper, wrote the title down, but I lost the paper. I lost the paper. I probably threw it out accidentally or something, but I just remembered I needed to do this video. So shout yourself out, brother. And I apologize for not being able to shout you out myself. But winning the game, dating game with despite a disability. You know what? I've actually personally known some cats who were disabled and still were doing well with women, right? I've personally known some cats, right? It's all in the mindset because ultimately the game is in the mind. It's not in how much money you got. It's not in your status, not in your genetic looks or height or anything. It's really in your spirit, right? And what these guys have done, they didn't let like a disability stop them from getting theirs. And I have several examples of this. I remember I knew this cat, worked with this cat back when I was working with the government, right? Now, this dude was a wheelchair athlete. And this dude, I'll never forget, being here with talking, and, he was a brother. And he would, compete in wheelchair races and stuff like that. I'll never forget what he said. He was breaking the aspects of the game down. He said, you know what? I notice when I have a mustache, right? When I have a mustache, I have I get more play from black women. When I shave my mustache, I get more play from white women, right? And I was just like, wow. And you know what? Even though I don't usually talk about what I used to do in the government, one of the places I did work was the disability rights section of the Department of Justice. I don't have any confidentiality things with that. Overall, I can mention I worked there, right? And we had people in there. They were deaf, clinically schizophrenic. I don't think we had anybody blind. Definitely a few people with wheelchairs. All of them seemed to have mates. All the men, anyway. They were still doing their thing. But it was the mindset, right? They didn't be like, oh, these women wouldn't want to mess with me. Like, decent women, right? In fact, speaking of decent, like now, contemporary, where I live, there's a gentleman, a Vietnam veteran. He's always in his motorized chair and everything. And he be walking with this fine old woman. She be walking right beside him, helping him and everything. He's a cool dude, Met him one time, thanked him for his service and stuff. As an aside, just a little tangent, man. Y'all meet anybody who has a veteran or something, just thank them for their service, man. This country don't do enough for them. That's my editorial about veterans, right? Like people who actually fought in a war. Just thank them. Trust me, it'll make their day. So anyway, back to it. This dude still got his woman and everything. And then I thought about a dude I used to work with. And this dude was on the autism spectrum. But that dude used to dress up. He used to have neurotypical women throwing some play to him. That dude all he did where we were working was clean up. But that dude come to work, his pants be creased, shirt crisp, shoes shine. That dude, even though he was doing just cleaning up, being just basically a janitor. Shit, that dude, he come in with his nice little frames. Haircut was always on point. He didn't use that like an excuse or something, And I've known, ran into one woman that I used to know, young girl and stuff. She walking around with a baby was from this blind dude. It's the key to it is, okay, you have a disability. Okay, so what? So what? Everybody got something, Everybody, even the height thing. I've had several people, they try to say, well, these women don't want me, I'm short. And then I'm thinking about, well, hold up. I know some dudes can't even walk. They can't even walk. Like the wheelchair athlete guy. Did he have legs? I don't know if he even had legs. or something. Or they might have atrophied. They weren't like amputated or anything, right? But that dude just built up his upper body. It was like, look, if only thing that really stops you is you. The game is really inside your head, right? The game is inside your head, and what you have with some of these cats, they didn't allow whatever circumstance. They just did their thing, right? You know, they ain't have an excuse. They shot their shot at a woman, presumably, right? He had insight, like the wheelchair athlete dude. That dude he could probably come on YouTube and do like dating coach videos. That's how sharp he was. And he had about 2 or 3 girlfriends. And shoot. And speaking of which, I've known some women. Who you can consider them disabled. Like I knew one woman. And it's funny because I met her men. I heard about her before I actually met her and then happened to meet her men. It's like one of those things, you know how they say, there's only like a few degrees of separation between people any damn way. But I met her and she was, I met a couple women like that. They either in wheelchairs or this one particular woman, she had cerebral palsy. So she, the conversation wasn't, it was a strain to talk and, walk for. She had 2 men. And this other woman in a wheelchair had something. They didn't have anything. I mean, and that's a lesson for men, right? You can't allow it. You can't say, oh, woe is me and everything, right? You just got to say, you know what? This is the hand I've been dealt. This is the hand I've been dealt. So I'm going to play the hell out of this hand. It's like for y'all spades players out there, and I haven't played spades in a while, but you get that hand and you really only got 2 books, right? You only got 2 books. Your partner got 2 books. And they say, well, how many books y'all got? And you like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Yeah. I got about 8 books over here. You be like, play that. And you get those 8 books too. You ever play, for y'all spades players, you ever play those games? You got 2 books pushing it. And you just say, you know what? I'm just going to play the hell out this hand. And that's what you do. Or a poker player, they be winning like all the chips and stuff. No one, they don't have a good hand. But that's how it is with if you got a disability, right? You just got to say, you know what? This is it. That's not stopping you. Right? That's not stopping you from talking, That's not stopping you from talking. And unless the disability affects your dick, that ain't stopping you from having sex. Right? You just got to go on. Or like, the young man who was autistic being a janitor and stuff. That dude could probably come on here and do a style video. I mean, that dude, because where he was a janitor at, I mean, it was a uniform, but that dude, that come in crisp. I mean, that dude, head to toe, was thorough. And even when he spit that game, I mean, he had to stutter through it, right? He stuttered through that game, but he would still spit it. And the women were like, ooh. They were feeling it. And refer back to my video about making an emotional connection to a woman. Sometimes dudes like that who, despite everything, still try hard and still do their thing, it touches something in a woman, right? It touches something. There's a part in every woman that kind of wants to nurture a man, right? There's a part. It's just there, right? And that kind of touches it. It touches their heart. They say, you know what? Because I even knew a woman. She said she prefers short men, right? Now, that's not quite a disability, but she just said because they try, you know what, despite everything, they still do their thing. So if you have a disability, it's like, okay, you have it. This is the hand you were dealt. Overcome that shit. Overcome that shit. Just go for it. I mean, you don't have to be player, right? But still lived your life. And ultimately, it's not even about getting women. Ultimately, it's not about getting women. I know I entitled it Winning the Dating Game Despite a Disability, but it's really about just winning in life. Are you going to sit there and say, oh, I can't make this happen because of this? Or are you going to say, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and do this thing anyway. This is what I want to accomplish. So, boom. There it is. There it is. So, anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. I'll talk to you later. Peace and blessings.